All right, so.
All right, do you want me to do the intro right away?
No, we're unmuted now. We're
Shooting the
live,
shit.
but yeah. Okay, we're working.
Beauty.
So, I forgot to ask you, how was Christmas?
It was good. It was fun. First Christmas with two kids.
Yeah.
Having the brand newborn definitely helped us get out of maybe some of the madness.
Really?
Yeah, because usually there's like, certain things where the family would be kind of angry or upset if you didn't make it.
Oh, if you didn't show
But
up, yeah.
yeah, but when you have a newborn, it's like,
Oh, you got that
you
built-in excuse.
yeah, because like he's so young, he doesn't have his shots yet, so we can't really have him at like bigger get-togethers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not that you don't want to go, it's just such a busy time of year that sometimes having that extra time to breathe is nice.
Yeah, and everybody's sick this time of year.
Oh yeah, like um, my brother-in-law was having the second birthday for his twins because they're 2 months older than my oldest, and there was like I think 50 people there and like I think 15 or 16 kids. of varying young ages, and that's 15 or 16 daycares worth of
Yeah.
sicknesses and germs, plus wherever the adults have been. So it sucked to not be there, obviously, but you got to think of the health angle.
My kid was sick during Christmas. She had a fever and everything.
I will always say it's like every long weekend, vacation, like all those times of years, it's like someone gets sick. Someone in the family, or I find myself like, May 2 for a long weekend or whatever, you're looking forward to it and then it's sick the whole time.
Yeah.
Law of averages is what can go wrong, Will.
What's that? Murphy's Law. Anything that can go
Yeah,
wrong will go wrong.
exactly. And yeah, but I mean, it was fun. Like, both my kids are under 2, so they don't really know what's going on yet. They don't really
Right.
have like that excitement level yet.
Oh,
To
my
them,
kid
they just
was.
see a bunch of things and they're like, oh, there's like things here, and they get excited about that, but they don't have a concept of what's about to happen.
Yeah, so she's 9, so this was. Christmas is a big deal.
Yeah, yeah, that age, it's probably the most important time of year, right up there with birthday.
All right? I didn't tell you the horrible thing I did last night.
Oh no.
So I don't see my friends very often, like twice a year, if I'm lucky. And yesterday, there was a sudden thing. One of my friends, his father passed away suddenly yesterday morning.
Yeah.
So a lot of us got together, went up to his house and everything, and just to make sure he's doing all right. And on the way back, I'm talking to my one buddy who I don't see very often. Like I said, 2 times a year. And I forget how it came up. Like he has a lot of tattoos. And I'm talking about tattoos and whatnot. And he says, "Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna get another one on my back. Kara's sister's gonna do it." So me, being the dumbass, who's Kara? My wife. So he's been married to her for like 4 or 5 years, and I have never known her name. like every time I see her, it's just kind of, hey, you.
Hey, you. Old
What's up?
buddy, old pal.
What's up, sport? No, I've been pulling this off for like however long they've been married.
Oh, shit. Oopsie.
Whoops.
I've been with Mary for 13, 14 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And like of her siblings, like I have been around longer than their spouses or girlfriends, and seen
Right.
many come and go. But the same brother-in-law with the twins, his wife signed my birthday gift with my son's name, or signed my son's birthday gift with my name. It was the other way around. Yeah, and this part of me is going like, "Do you know my name?"
Yeah, but well, I can side with them there. Something after a certain point, it's too late to ask.
Yeah, I mean, I can qualify too that my son's name is Jack and mine's Jake.
All right, it's pretty
So it's
close.
not far off. Like, it's
Yeah.
not it's not like my name was Sergio or something.
Yeah, like I know he's mentioned her name to me many times, but I've never.
You've always been
I've never committed to memory.
Yeah.
It's not an
tough.
uncommon thing for me to do. I forget so many names, and
Some people are better with faces.
I just gotta fake it until somebody else says their name.
It's like a sitcom situation where one person's trying to introduce the other person but doesn't know their name.
Right.
Trying to figure out how to run the introduction without saying the person's name.
Yeah. Oh, hi. This is
I
this
mean,
is
it's not like you
Steve's
hang out
wife.
all the time.
Yeah. No. Like, like granted, he is a very good friend of mine, but since I had a child and everything, I've just been absent and all that stuff. So,
Yeah,
I'm sure you could attest to that. Like, you probably don't see your friends nearly as much as you did before you had children.
see, I think that I was talking to Mary about that recently. Is I think when you have kids, you start to gravitate towards people who also have kids. So the
Right.
friends that maybe are single or don't have kids yet, they don't really understand, like, you know, and like not that they don't try to understand, but until you have a kid, you don't really understand what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
So like you find yourself like, they'll say like, "Oh, I'll come over at like 8:30 and I'll see like you guys and Jack." And it's like, "No, like, Jack's 2 now. You got to give him a bedtime.
Right.
That's past his bedtime, and routine is important for kids." So, like they don't get that. They're like, "Well, can't you keep him up for a little bit?" And it's like, "No, cuz then I'm going to be paying for that
Yeah,
for a
you don't know
month."
the hell I'm gonna pay.
Yeah, so like I find that when you're at that stage where you're having kids, you tend to gravitate towards other individuals that already have kids because they sort of understand, and then the kids can play together usually, and it's easier that way. But yeah, the friends of mine that don't have kids, I don't tend to see them more than, like you said, maybe once or twice a year. Some are a little more devoted, like they'll stop by more regularly, but
Right.
it's hard at that like age to get that kind of
And
time.
it's hard to make the time for like to go visit them too, because
Yeah.
like like my friend, like I would consider him my closest friend, whose father passed away. The last time I was at his house was 9 years ago.
Yeah. Coincidentally, it's like around the time your kid was born.
Well, it was like right after she was born.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do, and she was still a newborn. So I was like, oh, I'll take a ride up. He lives about an hour away,
Yeah.
so that doesn't help. But not really an
Yeah.
excuse. But
It's also like when you leave, you're kind of leaving the spouse with the kids.
mm-hmm.
So you can't really get infinite leeway for that. That's another thing they don't understand sometimes, where it's like, well, why can't you just like get your wife to look after the kids? It's like, because that is like a pretty massive undertaking and a huge favor.
Yeah,
And I can't just do that on a whim all the time. Like I would start to get in trouble if I was never around and always leaving, wife home with the baby. It's one thing if you're working, but it's a different thing altogether if you're just
right.
having fun.
So, yeah, that was very awkward. But we ended up laughing about it, so I apologize. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I guess I really should come around more often and know these things,
just drop me on, drop me off under the rock I've been living under.
right? Well, it's not
I
the
guess I
first
should.
time I've put my foot in my mouth. It was once. This is a long time ago, like when we were still in our 20s. We're at the bar. I obviously had a few in me. And, they had the music playing loud and everything, and one of my buddies showed up with his new girlfriend. I didn't know who she was. And I go to lean over to my one friend, the music's real loud, and I ask him, who she is. You know, and just as I go to ask him, that's when the music stopped. And the words that came out of my mouth was, "Who's the fat chick?"
Oh. And he never brought her out again.
Didn't really see her much after that.
I wonder why.
I
He
mean,
seemed like a nice guy.
in my defense, she was a large girl.
We're recording this conversation.
This is a long time ago. He didn't end up marrying her. It's fine.
Okay, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. bygones.
Yes.
But he just seemed to never bring his girlfriends around you
No.
again.
Yeah.
Doesn't bring him out.
No.
Well, I suppose I should get our introduction in before we start posting times here.
Yeah, I guess we're already a few
It's
minutes
that
into
time again.
qualifying.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're watching tonight. I'm Sid Viscus, joined tonight by Tokyo Dave. And welcome along to round 4 of the Lamborghini Yuletide Rush, presented by ARL Sim Racing in association with Tamiya Racing Factory, coming to you from Watkins Glen, New York. Round 4 brings us to the place affectionately known as the Glen. Watkins Glen International is our first and only stop outside of Europe this series. The proper track opened in 1956 after 2 iterations of public road courses dating back to 1948, and this track has seen some incredible racing during its history, everything from Formula One to Trans Am, NASCAR to IMSA. Boasting 11 corners, 7 to the right and 4 to the left, with an elevation change of 141 feet or 42.9 meters. This undulating track can be a very difficult place to overtake, with long corners providing advantages for a stout defender, and no heavy braking events where multiple lines are possible. With me tonight to call this race, as always, is Tokyo Dave. We've both had a good many races here, and we've seen some processions in the past. Do you think tonight will be all about who makes mistakes, or do you see some overtaking in the cards?
I'm just looking forward to what happens in lap 1 at the bus stop.
Yeah, that's usually Carnage Central.
Yeah.
Fun fact about the bus stop, not recorded in the number of corners.
Really?
Every other corner has a number. Only about half of them have a name, but the bus stop is not numbered.
Now, is it officially called the bus stop, or is that just the affectionate term the racers call it?
No, it's called the inner loop.
Inner loop. I know, like the following turn after that's the carousel, right?
Yeah. So I think the reason being is they have a version of the track that goes straight through that, and they call it the outer loop. So the deviation from that is the inner loop.
Makes sense. Now, what always baffles me, like Watkins Glen, so that to me is a proper bus stop type turn.
Yes.
Now you get other tracks, like let's say Spa. Like the last two turns of Spa is called a bus stop. That's not a bus stop to me.
No, and I think
that's a chicane.
I think that if I understand correctly, that was a bus stop that was changed but kept the name.
Okay.
So I think that used to be a different series of corners there, and then over time it was modified and changed to the point where it's not super recognizable as a bus stop anymore.
Now, like Nürburgring GP, where it has a similar turn, that I believe they call that a bus stop as well. Is that another one where it's just an old name that's stuck?
Which one is that at Nürburgring?
Right at the end, like after you come down the big hill.
Oh.
You know, like where normally you would go back, you'd enter the Nordschleife.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a quick left right.
Yeah, because that a little incident there.
Yeah.
Somebody went off. Let me check, actually. I'd be interested to see what they call that, because I did not know that was a bus stop.
Maybe I'm just completely wrong, you know? I'm just talking on my ass.
Let's see. It is
because
called
they don't
the NGK chicane.
Oh, okay.
So I guess after the spark plugs?
Must be.
Spark plugs?
Spark plugs.
You know that one, eh?
I don't. I just like the way you said it.
There's an amazing video on YouTube where a guy's prank calling a parts store, and he's asking for butt plugs. And the old man answering the phone, you know, probably someone cut from the same cloth as yourself, has no idea what the guy's asking for. And at one point he's yelling butt plug, and the guy goes, spark plugs. He doesn't know what.
I feel like I've heard it before, but I'm pretty sure very vague. Yeah.
I'd be surprised if I hadn't sent that to you.
Sounds like a Jerky Boys skit or something.
It's the John Cena prank call series where they're terrorizing a poor lady with the sound of John Cena's intro music is very much cut from the same cloth as this video.
I haven't heard that one either.
No,
I
come
don't
on.
know.
That one's ubiquitous. Everybody knows about that one.
I know the one where they would prank call like the old gravelly voiced guy at the bar. Did you ever hear that one? And
like kind of the Simpsons skit?
well, I think that's where the Simpsons skit came from.
Oh, yes, because they did get that from something.
Yeah, and they'd ask him for the silly names, like Amanda Hug and Kiss.
Yeah.
Mike Ock, things like that.
Yeah. Bend over.
And the guy he doesn't even say is there a bend over? He just yells, bend over. Bend over. And then everybody starts laughing at him, and he just starts cursing out the guy on the phone. You son of a bitch! I'll find you. I'll kill you.
Yeah, they don't really appreciate the joke.
No. But that one, you gotta. If you get, I think it's on YouTube probably. I mean, everything's on YouTube.
Yeah, nowadays everything.
Oh, that's a nice pit exit.
Yeah, doing donuts in the pits, Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
See what the stewards think of that. Pit exit procedure is a little flawed there.
All right, nailed it that time.
I wonder if we're gonna have to push that over to the stewards for investigation.
I think so. I heard we have some new stewards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they've managed to find someone somehow more incompetent than us.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. I should not have drank a Dr. Pepper before this broadcast.
It's just hot
It's
fire
like
in the gut.
No, it's like the most burpiest drink you can have.
Yeah. You gotta be quick on that mute button. Avoid the burp heard round the world.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know who the new stewards are?
Like they told me, but like again,
In one ear out the other.
It could be a friend's wife's name for all I know.
I've already forgotten her name.
So. Yeah. I don't know. That could make me look. It is. I can't navigate a phone. Where'd Discord go? There it is. I think our flamboyant turkey is one of them. Maybe.
Well, he does know what bad driving looks like.
Yeah.
He's something of an expert.
Let's see, Stuart.
I find it really interesting. So in the practice, we had 7 fast times all within a second. Now we have 2 fast times within, 1/100th of a second.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else is a second slower. So maybe Saba and Adrian were sandbagging a little bit.
Right. Oh, well, Adrian, the one we saw spin in the pits, is a race steward.
Oh, wow.
Along with Frankie Perot.
Yes.
Shane Stevens.
Canadian representation.
Yeah, Shane Stevens is a steward now. Maybe he always was. I don't know. Mystic Ninja. I don't know what his name on here is, but congratulations, Mystic Ninja.
I don't even know.
And Jay Reynolds is a steward as well.
Oh, Reynolds. Kurt Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
Our favorite Wish version of a famous movie star.
Mm-hmm. I hope he has a mustache.
Oh, that would be perfect. But that'd be a good one. It couldn't be like one of those,
Well, it's imitation Burt Reynolds, so it'd have to be a poorer version of a Burt Reynolds mustache.
True, yeah. But I don't think anyone could ever really pull off a Burt Reynolds mustache, except Burt Reynolds.
Or Tom Selleck.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a good mustache.
We'll have to get a face pic of these people to put up,
Right.
so that when we're talking about them, we can roast their appearance relative to what we've come up with in our minds.
I'm picturing like a 1920s like curly mustache.
Yeah, like an old artillery officer from like
Well,
Revolutionary War.
Yeah, like the silent movie villain. It's like tying the woman to the railroad tracks type mustache.
Yeah.
Maybe he rocks a top hat to go with it.
Treeb starred in that movie.
He directed.
I was gonna say the guy tying the woman to the tracks would have to be renowned.
He's tying her by her feet, though.
Well, qualifying's just about done. We've already gone off the rails.
Just like some of our drivers.
Yeah. Look at that gap, though. 3 100ths.
Mm-hmm.
That's
saying.
crazy close.
Joe's always down in 11th this week.
It's
I think he was a top 5 qualifier last round, wasn't he?
Well, see, it's interesting, right? Because 9/10 of a second between 13th and 3rd. So
Yeah.
that's a small gap for a lot of drivers. It seems like, your top tier, those guys are kind of running away with it. But then from Moby Phillips down to Anthony White, 9/10 of a second, and then there's sort of that second tier of the 2-second guys.
Yeah.
So, Correa, Watson, Kahn, and that lot.
Look at this guy. I don't know how long he's going to stay in AM at times like that.
Yeah, he's doing well. He was a high finisher last week too, right? Well, last race. 3 weeks ago.
What was it? Turkey was our winner last week, wasn't he? In AM?
From the AM class, I think so, yeah, but he's way off the pace here.
Just stay mistake free. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, it's his last chance to put in a lap here, so. And we have Phillips, Rodriguez, and Peppers already pitting, so they're done their qualifying. Maloof jumped up to half a second down from our leader, Saba. Still that small gap to Adrian. Correa's only got, 5 thousandths of a second to improve. So he could jump Phillips here. Nope, he's in the pits.
I don't think he's gonna do it.
No? Well, actually he's on track, right? But he's off in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very close there. Is there anyone? So, yeah, it looks like Perot is going to be the next one across the line. Is that 44? Do we have a 44?
We do.
He's not in our... so that's a new driver. He's not in our spotter guide.
WWB.
Yeah, and then Turkey's going to cross the line now.
Oh, looks like he went back to the pits. Unless he jumped up. Oh, sorry, top 10.
Okay. So then Hatcher's next, and then Menezes, who's usually pretty quick. So we'll see if Menezes makes an impression here.
Tony's in the pits.
We got Correa rounding the final corner now. He's going to put in another lap, it looks like. We have Roman just behind him. And Caraballo.
That's what I forgot tonight. My glasses.
Oh, good luck. The number's this small.
Yeah. I'm relying on you. Oh, qualifying's ended.
All right, so who do we got? Give us the rundown.
Saba, FP1. Adrian, wow. Look at that gap. Playing
That's
030.
3100s.
Maloof, right there.
Only a tenth down.
Moby Phillips. Well, we lost all our times. Correa. Roman. Rodriguez. See, Alarcon. I'm never going to put the emphasis on it. I'm sorry. Be mad at me all you want. I can't do it. Turkey, Perot, Peppers, Zuniga, Reynolds, White, Carres, Watson, Kahn, Walker, Carabello, WWB. What do you want to guess that stands for?
I don't know, maybe it's a feeder league to the WWE.
Yeah.
It's like the second tier, WWB. He's working his way up to the main card.
The B League, huh?
Yeah.
Shane Stevens, and Dinosauro, Vigara, Ryder. Oof, that's a new one.
Booyah.
Booyah. Hatcher, Medell, and Lamb King.
Oh, nice grid tonight. 28.
Yeah, 28. That's pretty good.
I think our second highest turnout of the season.
Yeah.
A couple new drivers in there. WB and Booyah.
Booyah. I'm going to be saying that all race.
Yeah, we know what his catchphrase is going to be if he wins.
He's a silver
Starting out
driver.
both of them as silvers, yeah. Both the new guys are silvers. Do you know how they rank those guys? Like,
I
do
think
they have
it's
to submit a time trial?
I think it just goes on your sim grid rating.
Okay, that would make sense. I mean,
So-
SimGrid to me doesn't make sense. I'm very poor
I don't
with
know
it,
how
but
it hands out points or ratings or whatever, but
we
it's
should
a
have
it's a
an
mystery.
interview with, because I know Anthony White, who's the organizer, is he works a lot with those guys. So maybe they could
Shed
tell us
some
how
light.
everything works. Because it's not that their service is bad. It's just I'm getting old and anything new to me is scary. And it's hard to get myself the time to learn how it all works.
Yeah, you're lucky if I'll even be able to sign up.
I know when I signed up, Anthony had to help me because I had no idea what I was doing.
Are you racing this new season? Like, are you still going to be in rookies, or are you going to be in GT4?
It's hard for me because my work schedule. I'm usually working shift work there, so
Right.
like it could be evenings, it could be mornings, and it's hard to make races, especially on the weekdays. I'm off on the
Okay.
weekends, but
Well, are you gonna be back at work when February comes?
I start back at work in April.
Oh,
so I'm off 4 months with the baby, but
so potentially you could be.
yeah.
Because I'm going to try rookies. Them too. So I don't know if you were upgraded to the GT4 league or if you're still in rookies.
I think I would still be in rookies. I think unless they have a way of manipulating that based on, because for anybody that doesn't know, you and I have raced with a lot of these guys for a really long time.
Right.
So they kind of know that we're at a certain level, but we don't use SimGrid, so it's not reflected there. So unless there's a way for them to make an exception to move you into the higher categories.
I think, yeah, it could be override. I think like guys like you and I, like we can enter any of the races if we actually wanted to on SimGrid. At least any of the ARL races, because I think we're listed as organizers.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Or whatever. Organizers or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Administrators.
We have done our share of organizing. Nowadays
Yes.
we hand it all off to the new guys, but
Yeah.
We paid our dues.
Mm-hmm.
That's 7, 8 years now for you.
I think so.
Because
No,
I'm 6 years
is it?
with the league. Yeah.
So I was been in it that long. I thought, man, I don't know. That's I know at the time I was what house I was living at, so I was because when my daughter was 3 at the time, so she's 9 now. So I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's 7 years.
Yeah, because I think it was beginning around like beginning of 2018 was when I started racing with the league about 6 years ago, and I was VOD by the end of that year
Right.
because they had a big hiring push. I got brought on to VOD at the same time I think as Moby,
Yeah, you and Moby
and
were brought on together.
there was maybe one other person as well
I
who
think
came in that.
Old Man Tree was brought in right after you guys.
Yeah, yeah. He was, he spent so much time, organizing much of history,
Mm-hmm.
organizing the planets and the stars,
Well,
you know,
he was
primordial goo. So
he was grandfathered in.
great grandfather. He's older than Jesus Christ himself.
Oh, we got Marco watching. He says he wants Moby to win this race.
He's going to be in tough. Those top three are, I mean, they gapped the rest by a second.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to hope for a little bit of
He's going to have to pray for the bus
spice in
stop to
what's
do its
going on.
job.
I mean, he's in a good position where if something does happen ahead of him, he could easily, drive through the gap. And then,
Right.
like we said, that group from P4 to P13, only about 9/10 separated them. So if the top three runners have issues, there's, pretty much anybody down to 14th could probably win the race, realistically. We'll see how much the pit
realistically,
strategies come in.
they're all winners just for participating.
The real wins are the friends we made along the way.
Right. According to Marco, the first 3 will crash on T1 and Moby will cruise to victory.
Oh, cruise to victory. Interesting.
Cruise.
Oh, I mean, Kevin was only 5/1000ths of a second behind Phillips in qualifying, but we know his inability to figure out pit stops and
Fuel saving,
his
it's not his.
bizarre attempts to make calculations while driving. Frankly, whenever he wins, he does it in spite of himself.
So, are you going to participate in the Daytona 2-hour this year?
I don't think I'll be in the Daytona 2-hour, but I am joining part of Anthony's race team for the iRacing Daytona 24.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so I didn't get my name in time for the ARL one, and seemed to be pretty good interest. And as a organizer, I'm always cognizant of taking the spot of somebody who is not an organizer, because
Right.
if you are, let's say, you're an organizer and, the grid is made up of 8 organizers plus 8 other people, some of the other people who don't get to race are going to be like, well, yeah, they're just keeping their buddies
Yeah.
and like I'm not able to race. So I'm always, a little bit, cognizant of that to say, give the new guys their spot and let
Right.
them enjoy it because it is a fun group to race with. I wish I was racing, but
Well, we are doing you got a race to get into it to get your
yes,
spot.
yeah, there's a qualifying race, yeah.
So we're taking the top 16.
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
Yeah.
I don't even know at this point. I haven't driven in a little bit. If I would be in the top 16, probably be too slow.
I'm trying LMP for the first time this year.
Yeah, you've always been a GT guy.
Yeah.
Why the change?
Because Pig's running LMP.
Ah, yes.
30 seconds.
So you're trying to take him out?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
not gonna lie. That's why I'm doing it. Because he's doing it.
20 seconds.
I tend to enjoy the prototypes quite a bit. I've always liked higher downforce cars.
Hmm.
Just find them a little more fun to drive. Sometimes GT's fun, and especially like the close racing and GT packs are really fun, but it feels clunky sometimes. Where nothing really feels like a Formula car or a prototype, where you get that downforce. You feel just suction to the road.
Well, this Toyota, this new one, is a little weird. It's like it's super fast, but it's got like almost like the brakes of a GT3 car, but the speed of
Oh,
a LMP. So you got to brake early, and it does not like to turn.
and is the hybrid system still ERS, like energy recovery, and not rechargeable, or it is rechargeable and not just short
Yeah, it
range?
recharges on its own. Now that they
Yeah.
fixed that glitch. Like you
Yeah,
barely
that used to
used
be annoying.
you barely use the hybrid now.
Yeah, you never had any. It was
Yeah.
always just completely out. And the cars are much more fun to drive when they have that electrical boost built in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want to give a track tour?
Yeah, so we've just gone through turn one. Unlike a lot of the older European tracks, this one very few corner names to remember, which you'll like. But the uphill portion here is the S's. We're coming to the top there now. We're on the back straight. Yeah, this is one of the largest inclines of the season, heading up through those S's. You go up, I think it's close to 100 feet in those corners, if I'm not mistaken. And down the back straight here, still uphill, just slightly, towards the bus stop, which, as we mentioned before the race, not counted among the numbers of corners. So when I say 11 corners on the track, it is not including this bus stop chicane for whatever reason. Uh, Past the bus stop here, just where the leaders are entering, this is the downhill outer loop portion. So we'll let them get through here. Very tight. This, when I mentioned before the race about some of the heavier braking events that are more of a one-line complex, you can't really go side by side without losing a ton of time through the bus stop. So it is a hard spot to make moves because you can lose out massively. This downhill right-hander is the outer loop as we drop down into the back part of the circuit. Over the crest, off to the right, is where the short track continues and loops around. Downhill, long left-hander, and I mentioned these in the intro as well. If you're a good defender, these long sweeping corners are really easy to defend around. You kind of force people either to take the inside and carry your pace around the outside, or you can kind of squeeze them off to the outside. It's just sort of defensive driver's dream. Uphill right-hander here. This is called toe. And again, long, sweeping, uphill right-hander. Super difficult to make a pass, and the exit is pretty tight. So, you run out of space pretty easily on the left-hand side there when you're getting squeezed out. Now we run into the final sort of half square or three-quarter square of the circuit. Right-hander. This is I can't even read what it says on my track map. Something like mole.
Well, wouldn't that be considered like the heel?
Yes, that's it actually. Yeah, there's an H there. Hard to tell whether it's an H or an M. And then unnamed turn 9, the left-hander here as we get towards the top of the track.
Mm-hmm. Why
And a
can't I
short
return to
little
the
blast
garage?
down to another left-hander.
Oh, did I fuck? Don't tell me I screwed this up by going to drive.
No, I think you can... Oh,
Can I
you
go?
can't return to garage. Interesting. Oh, and we have a near pile-up waiting for the lights to go green. Everybody kind of just slamming on the brakes. And here's your final right-hander. Also the start of the pit entrance, which can trip people up again with these hazardous pit lanes. We have one starting from the pits, and we're going to go green here in a moment.
Green light, go, go, go.
And we are green.
Oh.
Adrian trying to cover Saba and nearly collecting him before the first corner. Saba's going to try to make the move down. Phillips around the outside. And they're 2x2 basically the whole way down here. Wow, a really tight fight, and it looks like Saba might have got it there. Keeping it clean though, not too crazy. Let's see if the bus stop throws up something interesting here. Well, the first few are through cleanly. might be some mayhem behind.
Oh, here we go.
That brings us back.
Yep.
Perfect. Let's see, Carray's lost a couple spots. WB up a few spots. Turkey down a couple spots.
There we go. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. Saba almost 1 second out front. Unfortunately for Cicolo, his prediction has not led to a Phillips first place through the first lap. Not
No. That tight group, though.
Zuniga up a couple spots as well. Correa losing out, down 2 spots. Or I guess just the 1 spot he's lost.
Right. It seemed like a fairly clean first lap for everyone.
Yeah, a couple spots to be taken here and there, but I think just the one car that's way behind was the pit lane start, number 14, Fred Liddell. Yeah, he's just a weird dude.
Oh.
So.
Booyah, going for the pass.
Oh, nice. The
Nice
rookie
move.
making a move right away.
Nice clean.
Oh.
Move, late.
And a little out wide, and I think he kind of spooked Lamb King there. Yeah, Lamb King looking for a way by now. That was, yeah, a little clunky, but, you know, first race jitters. I remember my first race of ARL.
Yeah, I remember it too.
Super nervous.
Vividly. Was it Nerve GP? Was that the first race?
No, that was my second race. I think the first race was Barcelona.
Oh yeah, because I guess that was back when we were starting all the seasons at Barcelona.
Yeah, every season was a Barcelona debut, and I did so badly. And then the second race, I took you out, and you were POD at the time. So
yes,
you know, it'd be like somebody taking Anthony or someone like that out in this race, where you're just like, first race, second race, I've just nailed the organizer. Like, these guys will never have me back.
Yeah, I remember that car you had. You were driving the Mazda with covered in stickers.
Oh yeah, every single decal.
Decals. They're stickers.
Decal. Had the big Canada flag on it.
Yeah. Canada, Grolsch, and every other sticker you can think of.
Rothman cigarettes.
Oh,
and
who
a
was
car on the
that?
wall on the straight. Ouch. It's a big hit, Zuniga. What happened there?
I blame Turkey. Turkey was right behind him, I think.
Yeah, you gave him the old gobble gobble. How's she going? And
That was a hard hit.
Yeah, and he's staying off the track there. He's probably just pounding his steering wheel. I think he just goosed it out of that final corner and looped it on himself.
Just hammered down with cold tires, maybe?
I think so. That's what that looked like. That final corner can be pretty slippery sometimes, especially on new tires with a cold track.
Yeah, I'd imagine if you get up on the curbing on the outside, it might throw you for a loop.
Yeah, it's got that deceptively close barrier on the exit, which can really catch you out. I'm not expecting it to be that narrow on that exit.
I actually did it 2 or 3 laps today here with the Super Trofeo.
Get a little preparation.
Yeah, well, I actually took the plunge and bought all the DLC today. So I actually had the track in the car.
You're a great man to be able to do that after Christmas.
Well, if anyone is looking to buy it, it's on sale now.
Phillips, sorry to cut you off. Phillips is going in the wall there. He is pushing.
For anyone that's looking to get the DLC, it's on sale on the PlayStation Store now for $25.
Okay, so not bad.
Yeah. Only thing it doesn't include is the Nürburgring 24-hour circuit and the GT2 pack.
My all-time favorite track, the Nürburgring before.
Now, how long have we been racing together?
What did we say, 6, 7 years?
I've never driven that track.
Really?
Nope. Maybe like one lap here or there.
Yeah, because you didn't drive in my endurance series that I hosted.
No.
Yeah, I used to do an endurance Tuesday nights when I first started on the BOD. And, I mean, it was a small contingent of us, but those guys were hardcore. Kevin Correa was actually there. He drove, I think, every race that season. I think he ran out of fuel and did an entire lap of the Nürburgring with the Grand Prix Strecke and the Nordschleife with no fuel at like
60 miles an hour or
whatever.
something like that. It drops you down too.
Yeah, that was just bad. I think it took him like 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes to get around.
Yeah, I don't drive it. I don't have the attention span to memorize that circuit.
I memorized it when I was a kid, so every corner feels like nostalgia for me. I used to play it all the time on like Gran Turismo 2, and like just lap after lap after lap. So I've memorized it for a while now. Makes it easier, but
Now, a friend of mine was just there a few years ago and drove it. And he said whatever rental company he rented the car from said you had to log like so many hours on like Gran Turismo or something like that doing it before they would even let you out on the track.
probably. Fun fact about it, for I think 90-something% of the year, it's public road.
Is it?
Yeah, so I mean it's a controlled public road, but like there's spots where I think like Hatzenbach, there's like a grocery store that you can pop off the track into, and like I mean that's why you see videos of like delivery vans and stuff driving with like supercars, is because like it is a road, like, and I think it's part of what keeps the funding. And I'm not a local there, someone that lives near there. Like
is it like a toll road or something?
Yeah, basically, I think that'd be the best way to say it. And like by having it be partly public road or public funded, it helps keep the track, because racetracks are super expensive to build, but then incredibly expensive to maintain.
Right.
So if you do have some assistance from the government levels, it makes having a racetrack a lot easier.
Well, did I hear like this year or something they did like a partial repave or a full repave of it?
We do have Kevin Correa off at, I think it's turn 8, the right-hander. He's just had a big hit. Oh, the other one.
Correa. Oh.
Yeah.
With an S.
He's gone way down. Yeah, he's just had a big hit. Or some kind of off.
An off or
he
something.
Lost about
Tony.
place, isn't it? Oh no, there's Hatcher in the wall. Backed it in too.
Oh no.
Fred's gonna be
quick hands by Fred.
Yeah. That's what gets him in so much trouble. This time it saved him.
Heading to the pits. Nope.
Okay, so gonna stay out. Maybe when it happens that late in the lap, sometimes you just stay out for a test lap.
Yeah, see how bad it is.
Yeah. I mean, I always get bitten by that. I always try to do a lap to see how much time I'm losing, and then I always realize that I should have just gone to the pits right away. So.
Yeah, there's some car like we all do it, and it's never beneficial. Like you should just go in like right away.
Yeah. It's some games they'll meatball flag you. Like some games will say there's iRacing does that, where there's a threshold for damage where you will get flagged. We also do have Kurt Reynolds off the same corner, that exit. Still yellow flags waving. He's got going now, but he's slow. He's still,
Oh.
yeah, he's done some serious damage.
He's beat up. Must have got a mustache hair in his eye or something.
His mustache is too long, so it's flying up in his eyes.
Yeah, close that visor.
Turn 7 has been an issue.
Well,
now.
this turn here coming out of the boot.
Yeah.
When we did Super Formula, that was an issue for everybody. Where the track transitions, where's it from the short course, the long course to the short course.
Yeah,
there's a strange bump there or something that just throws your car off balance.
I think it's similar to turn 1 here, that wide raised curbing.
Mm-hmm.
You try to use as much of it as you can, but it's such a weird compound that it ends up kicking the car out. This one, like the curbing at these corners is fine, but it's that wide, the double wide curbing that's also raised. I think I did a Super Formula here one time where I crashed, I think 4 times at that exact corner you're talking about, that left-hander, the penultimate corner.
Right.
And it was just getting too much on that outside.
Yeah, that caught a lot of people out. That's the reason why we had so many cautions, was that corner right there. Like the one where you saw Hatcher spun around. Right there, that one.
Yeah. Yeah, this whole...
Because when you're coming out of it, it looks like you can put down the power early, but you really got to wait on it, because if you do it kicks you right out to that wall.
I find I really enjoy the first 50% of this track, and I really hate the second 50%. Like, right after the downhill right-hander, after the bus stop chicane.
Once you start getting into the boot, it's...
Yeah, I suck every
Yeah,
corner.
if you're not... Yeah.
And we have WB causing a yellow. Yeah, he's had a hit.
Yep. Yeah, that boot section is tough to get right.
Ooh. Oh, and he's out wide. Yeah, that's where you can lose a little bit of ability to turn. He's not going to be able to pit. We do have a car in the pits. Since that 19 is retired, maybe, in 313 of Reynolds.
Really?
Yeah, I think Zuniga's parked it.
Seems like an early retirement.
That was a big hit, and he might just be kind of upset about it. And yeah, now Reynolds a lap down, so maybe the same for Reynolds. Oh, maybe I did see Reynolds is moving, so Reynolds is back in.
Got Moby holding strong at fourth, all by himself. Lonely ride.
Roman's off of turn 8. And that looks like a bad one. He's parked. Yeah, that same corner there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. That's in a bad spot. He's going to have to move. He's going to get collected here pretty soon.
Yeah, you can't park there.
Sir, you can't park your car here. Ever seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? Or read it?
Nope. I know it's one of those movies that everybody's seen, but not this guy.
It's a good one. You should watch it. I read the book before I watched the movie. It's a good book.
Well, it's Johnny Depp, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I have a hard time with Johnny Depp.
Yeah, you probably enjoy the book more.
And there's something weird about him. Oh, stop and go for number 19, 30-second penalty.
That's Zuniga. So he's back going, it looks like.
So he must have cut pit lane or something, or speeding.
That pit entrance, maybe. I know we've seen a stop go 30 for speeding in the pit lane, so that's probably it. But that entry can also be pretty annoying. But that's not going to feel good after.
No, oh, jeez.
Oh, and there he goes.
He's got to be thrilled right now.
He's in the red mist right now, I think. Yeah, and he's letting cars by. He's had an absolute nightmare start to this race. Like, the first 15 couldn't have gone any worse for him.
Oh, what is going on here?
Oh, Vergara slowing the bus stop. And a 42 car off in the bus stop. Is that Walker?
Yep. Oh,
Oh,
that is
yes.
that's a scary re-entry.
That is, of all the rejoins, that's one of them. Yeah. That WB, the new driver behind him, is going to be wondering about the driving standards on that one. He might want to see the stewards after the race. It's a really close fight here. Walker, WB, and Weird Man Medell.
What were we talking about for all the action?
Well, we were talking about Fear and Loathing.
Oh yeah, Johnny Depp, weird dude.
Yeah. Weird dude, yeah. So one of the things that's lost in the movie is the actual Hunter S. Thompson is like 6'6". Like he's a big dude.
Okay.
And the attorney that he has is also a massive dude. Like I think in real life, like even taller, like 6'7", 6'8". So it's two like massive dudes tripping out, and they're like physical, imposing nature kind of lends something to the story that when you have like Johnny Depp's like 5'10", it doesn't really.
He's a little guy.
It doesn't translate as well. Yeah, so like the book is, I think, like most things, the book is better than the movie.
Right.
Because there's just more and more information, more causality, and more thoughts. But yeah, the movie itself's not bad. It's certainly, they try as best they can to be a faithful adaptation.
Oh, going for moving the bus up.
Oh, he thought better of it. There's one where maybe his first race in the league, he's not trying to do
too much.
A late bomb in there where someone that's maybe raced a few more times might.
Turkey under pressure.
Oh, Correa will get this pass. We know Turkey
up to 7th place.
Tried to
Look at him.
But
well, he sees that Am first place right in front of him.
Yeah, just a 1 second gap. We know how quick Correa is. He's lost 3 positions now, but he qualified 5th. So we know he has lap time around here. Let's see, will he try it into the bus stop? Again, this is a hard track to overtake at. You see a lot of bumper-to-bumper racing, not a lot of door-to-door racing.
Right.
And it's easy to kind of get sucked into a train.
Nope. I'm not doing it. Nope.
Come on.
Nope. You know you said it. Just leave it at that.
The trains we made along the way. Sometimes I have to remind myself I'm being recorded. Let's see. He's trying. We're on a train on Turkey.
Stop.
Let you chew on that one.
Chew on that turkey. I hear he's a real gobbler.
Especially when he gets sucked in a train. I should clip this and post it on his Facebook. Make his family wonder what kind of circles he's running in.
Right? I keep getting suggestions to make him my Facebook friend.
It's mostly pictures of wilderness adventures. He is a camper, and he goes on long trips in his Mini.
Well,
One
yeah.
of the new minis, which is
Yeah.
not a mini,
Well, it's
but it is.
well, yeah, I know it's a BMW.
My dad was his whole career was fixing vintage British cars.
Right.
So like he restored hundreds and hundreds of minis. He actually has a mini in the Canadian Museum of Civilization that he built for them. It's a white mini Clubman. It's like fully interactive. You can sit in it and stuff. But I grew up in those cars, so when the new mini came, I was very bah humbug about it.
Oh, really? I wanted one. I wanted something fierce.
Yeah, I still want an old mini. I'd definitely drive one of those. They're fun cars.
Yeah, I don't know if
Like a
I'd fit in
little
it.
go kart. They actually have a surprising amount of space. My dad's friend Greg Brill drove one, and he's like 6'7".
Oh, okay. I
I think
guess
he
I
had
might
to get
fit.
the seat remounted a little bit further back, but
Right.
yeah, they actually same with the old Volkswagen Beetles have a surprising amount of space.
Right.
My grandfather was a big guy. He used to drive a Beetle, and he could lift it out of parking spots. So like when he got snowed in, the plow went by and built the whole mountain. He could like pick the car up like back end and then front end,
Mm-hmm.
pull it out. Yeah.
Well,
We
did you
do
ever
have a
see
car
the?
stop. Two cars, I think. Car 14 is Medell off again in that left-hander before the boot, and he is somebody's
I see
backwards.
Booyah.
Booyah.
Oh, boo no.
That was terrible.
That was you giggled, so it was worth it. So the reason why I'm here is to make you giggle. That's why I show up every week.
Just can't get enough of my charming laugh.
Yeah. Your girlish tease. See, now you can't stop. Now just
I'm self-conscious. We need another incident to talk about.
Right.
Who's in the lead? What's happening at the front? Sabo?
Yeah, 1 second gap.
Yeah,
Adrian was closing on him. He's hitting some lap traffic.
Yeah, Malouf's right there too. And then Phillips 14 seconds behind. So Sikalo's
Prediction is not.
Phillips some goodwill. It hasn't worked out.
What the heck, Marco? Oh, Saba off.
Oh, Saba is.
Lamb King got in the way. Adrian's
and
by.
Adrian takes the place. High drama here.
Well,
We've done well to follow this battle.
He must have a sixth sense for this stuff.
Yeah, that's why I'm so good at racing. So good I'm in the commentary booth. We do have, I think, is that car number 4 off, so that's King. It's just caused
a thing.
Yellow flag. Just King things.
Kings. Why is that allowed?
Now that is all within a second almost, these top 3 now.
Now it's a
Toby
race.
somehow lost time in that exchange.
I think King might have. I think King might have affected him also.
We just need to, put up a hashtag on the screen that says hashtag just King things.
Hashtag King things.
Replay brought to you by King Things.
King things.
Not to be confused with King's Thing.
Yeah.
See if Adrian's able to impose his will here now.
Yeah,
He's
take
got a
off.
second gap almost.
Wonder if Saba took any damage from that.
It didn't look like it. I think he just surfed the grass for a minute.
Well, if he did, now's a good time because the pit's just open.
Yes, but we have seen sometimes the pitting early or later can affect your pace later in the race. So they might decide to just stick with whatever, pit window they had in mind or when they think that they were going to try to pit. Because they still
Right.
have 8 minutes, just below 9 minutes to pit.
We got some diving in early. We got Correa, Perot, Roman, Dinosauro, King Things.
King Things might have been damage induced. That might have been a result of the King Things. Saba has just now closed the gap a little further. So only half a second now. So Malouf's going to be sort of wringing his hands, hoping that he can get something if these two start to squabble. It's going to be tough to make an overtake. So
if you were Malouf, would you think to try the undercut?
It's a tough call.
I mean, being less than a second behind the leader.
Yes, but you're also going to,
I know at the end of the race, but like you said, it's tough to pull off a pass here.
It's a good shout, actually. Yeah, just based on how difficult it can be to get by, you're probably right. You probably just send it into the pits, do whatever the other guys don't do, and hope that because unless there's a big, conflagration between the top two, there's very slim chance you're going to make both those passes on track.
Right. So if you can get out of the pits with a clear track in front of you, there's time to be made up.
There is another King Things going on in the bus stop, and it looks like he's about to rejoin the track in the way of some people.
Oh, that is a floppy hood.
Yeah. King's thing is sagging a little bit. And he's a little down on pace. And he already pitted, right?
And
so
and he pulled off. No, don't do that. Oh.
Hashtag King Things.
Hashtag King Things. We're pulling for you, buddy.
I know it sounds bad, but it could be worse.
Yeah. I mean, no, just stay on the black stuff.
Yeah, don't venture too far into the gutter there. He's just, limp home mode, I think, right now.
Right? Well, it could also be one, I don't know if you've had experience in ACC where you hit something so bad the car will only turn one way, or you end up dragging a wheel and stuff. So that could be why he was in the grass.
Yeah, he might be having a hard time just even getting it to cooperate.
Yeah.
I think both left-hand corners.
That could be. He could be dragging a wheel.
Correa's right behind. It's a high-speed corner, so you really don't want to be going this slow. Yeah, get off the line there. Very slow, yeah.
And he's safely into the pits.
We helped to guide him home.
Yep. Oh, look at the gap.
Oh, wow. Zaba's got to have had another mistake.
Yeah.
No. And it does look like Malouf...
Did Malouf take our advice, or did he...
He did.
He pit? All right.
Yeah.
He went with the undercut.
He's out.
See how this works out.
That's what that one means, right? We've been educated on the...
Yes, so that green bar next to his name means he's completed his stop.
Yes. We have been learning slowly.
And he has a good chunk of clear track in front of him, so he can push hard.
He does. Right before we saw King Things, I was going to say, you kind of do have to hope that you find yourself in a gap, though, because that's not always, the way it'll work out. Sometimes, the gap that you're going to pit, or you're going to come out into, is going to be, a busy area of the track. It looks like Caraballo stop-go penalty, I think I just saw.
Yeah, probably pit lane
Yeah.
speeding.
Yeah, this pit
I
lane
want,
is so annoying.
yeah, I
This is
want
one of
to
the
see
most
where,
annoying pit entries.
right? I want to see where Maloof blends out with Saba.
Yeah, because Saba's in now. That is a busy pit lane at the moment. We saw Saba, falling back a little bit from Adrian, so we'll see if that will make a difference here. He is on to the pit straight now. Saba's not moving yet.
Oh, this car's
He's going to
down.
get the
It's
move
out.
done. I think he's going to get the move done here.
Let's see.
He's going to have a lot more speed.
There he is. Yep, he's got it done. All right, that's one position gained.
Yeah, if he can hold it. I mean, Saba's going to be on a colder tire right now.
Cold tire right now, so he's going to be able to pull a gap on him.
Yeah, Maloof's got a little bit more under his belt on those tires, so let's see.
This
when they
could
go
be a
through.
winning strategy, depending on what
Yeah, we'll
Adrian
see.
does.
It'll adjust once they go through the first sector.
All right, Adrian's coming in now.
Yeah, so 1 second.
Oh,
gap,
my
right?
goodness.
That's
Fred.
going to be speeding in the pit lane.
Fred almost. Oof, that was scary.
I wonder if Adrian gets a penalty for that. That looked like, unless Medell was going way slower.
Medell was like stopped at the pit entrance. Like literally stopped.
Just, yeah, when I saw the relative speeds between those two, I thought it did look like maybe he entered a little too hot, but if the other guy was going way too slow, then that makes sense. So now only the top 3, and Adrian's in now. So White and Khan are both, up there just because of pit strategy.
Just because of pit, yeah. White's going in now.
And he's 40 seconds back of Adrian, which, I mean, that kind of proves how fast those top guys are.
Right.
White wasn't that far back, and 40 seconds is a substantial
All right,
amount
let's
of time.
see. Maloof's coming around.
And,
Adrian's pulling out now.
313 Reynolds is off at the bus stop.
Well, let's see what this blend is. I think he's going to get it done.
Oh, yeah, I think, you're right. Same exact move that he got on Saba. Almost the exact same spot.
And again, he's got the warm tires, and he should be able to pull a gap.
Yeah, all the same as we just saw. And look at the gap to Saba now is substantial.
Yeah, as long as he can get past this lap traffic cleanly.
Yeah, and it's a new driver, so you don't really have a book on
how he's going to react.
WB's going to handle it, right? Yeah, it's one thing when you're coming up on a guy where you have, even 5 races on the track together, you start to pick up on trends and, their general attitude behind the wheel. But when you're racing someone for the first time, it's literally impossible to know what they're about to do.
Yeah. And we all know how new drivers act to blue flags.
Yes.
Some ignore them. Some just pull completely off track and.
Yeah, everything in between.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because right now Maloof needs to clear WB.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to get this move done now. He probably needed to get it done 2 turns ago, but just wasn't within distance. Oh. Yeah, that's gonna give Adrian.
He let him by, but. Oh no.
Whoa. That's not what you want to see. It's not ideal. So everyone has pitted now. Zuniga 3 laps down, sitting in the pits. I think he was involved in the incident with Kurt Reynolds at the bus stop a minute ago, so he might be back in for damage. Just a shocker for Joe. Joe's had a tough night.
So, pulled a 2.5 on him.
That's crazy.
That's good.
We're going to watch for that to start getting chiseled down now that the tires are going to be coming in. Especially for Saba having now the 2 full laps, I think it is, 2 or 3 full laps on these tires. He will start to reel in Adrian most likely. And then they'll both probably start to put themselves within striking distance of the loop, within the last 5 to 10 minutes of the race. And now Saba's cleared WB. So all the 3 front runners are by the lap traffic. And once they cross the next sector line, which should be coming up in a couple seconds here, we can start to see what that gap is like. Next, Kurt Reynolds, I think, is next, or no, Kurt Reynolds, I think, will be the next lapped car. All right, so still a 1.5 second gap, pretty much across the board there. 1.5.
I gotta step away for a second, so hold the fort
no
down.
worries. And I'm interested to see how far Phillips is from this group. Okay, so he's about 2 turns behind. 2 to 3 turns behind. So yeah, it just popped up here. He's 17-second gap now. So those top 3 are starting to break away from him. Reynolds is pulled off, so this will be an easy overtake for the top 3. And keep the gaps probably about where they have been. We have Turkey only half a second back of White. White's pit strategy, I think, has actually helped him get a little bit further up now because he's up into 8th, which besides Perot, he'll be second in silver to Perot at the moment. So we'll see. That's top 5 are all in your top division, and then we have a rookie class driver, and then your silver class driver. First place in that category is in 7th, so not another gold driver until Correa down in 11th. So interesting spread on that top class. Roman down in 14th too. I think Joe is in that top group. Zuniga all the way down there. He's had a tough time. But now we can see Adrian starting to pull that gap in. He's, Saba's getting kind of left out of the party, but Adrian has taken a couple tenths out of the gap. We'll see now. Maloof just, clinical right now, trying to make it through this. And the more work he can do now is going to help him quite a bit later on. If it continues to be around this gap and he doesn't manage to pull out any more time, he's going to make it tough on himself in the end. But again, if you're defending well here, there's nothing stopping him from being able to hold on to that position because it is really, really difficult to make a pass here. Turn 1 is a heavier braking zone, but there's really not a lot on exit, and it's sort of a one-line corner, very easy to get wrong. So it's a hard place, and then these are uphill sweepers. Nothing really much you can do for overtaking there. And then you have your bus stop, which is very much a one-line corner, and side by side through there could go either way. So it's a tough one. And then your rest of your track is pretty much sweepers. Maloof really mounting the curbs there. That cost him some time, I think, unless actually maybe he had already sort of lost out that time. But now Adrian's got those tires up to temperature, and he's going to be making a push here. Let's see what he can do. And they've dropped Saba to the tune of 2.6 seconds back. I think Adrian's just on pure pace right now. He's got the car where he needs it. And it's always harder to lead. It's easier to be the following car, especially leading a race. But it's always easier to be the car behind because you can see everything that the guy's doing. You can pick your lines accordingly. The guy in front is always sort of just trying to pull that gap even more. And when you're not, in fact, when the gap is closing, it can be extremely frustrating to see that. And you're trying to manage it as best you can, but you're just kind of being reeled in slowly but surely. And sometimes that inevitability kind of creeps into your mind where you start thinking, well, he's going to make the pass one way or another, and I'm just delaying the inevitable. And that's a tough spot to be in. I'm not saying that that's where he is now, but it is pretty. It's a lot different for the leader compared to the person following in second place. So we'll see now down to the bus stop. He's within a half second. Get a long straight here. Not the greatest exit for Maloof. Something's going on there. He's having a hard time through that section. Again, Adrian tries it but backs out. Again, one line complex of corners. It's tough to get a move done through there. And downhill sweeper, Maloof, I think, is held onto it for this lap. But like you can see, since that first sector is only 0.02 of a second separating the cars going into the bus stop, which is impressively close, door to door. So we'll see now. Next, probably realistic overtaking opportunities are towards the end of the lap, but it's tough to get by in any of these corners. So yeah, now 0.7. So from 2/100ths to 0.7. It's shows you how it can go a little bit wrong if you try to force a move in a spot where you can't really make it. Saba still falling back, about 3 seconds behind, and then Phillips now 20 seconds behind Saba. So I think the pace of the top three right now is incredible. These guys are pulling gaps on extremely talented drivers, and sort of in a league of their own. The sort of gold plus category at the top of the pack here. It's impressive to see. And we'll see if Maloof has the same sort of issues through the S's that he did last time, because I think he was a little offline and ended up giving Adrian an opportunity. And he does exit shallow again. Something's going on through those corners, and Adrian might get the move done here, and he does before the bus stop. So we have a change of lead. 17 minutes and 30 seconds left in the race, and Adrian has come through. And, I was trying not to jinx him, but we did get the sense that inevitability kind of crept in there, where it wasn't a matter of if, but more a matter of when. So unfortunate there for Maloof, but Adrian's going to be celebrating that one because, textbook, and did it before the braking zone, which is always good for continuing to pull the gap, especially to Saba, who's a quick driver in third. And they have managed to actually make even more of a gap, up to 4.1 seconds now in third place from second. So able to get the move done now, and Adrian's gone really wide there. So maybe this is not going to go as easily as we think, and they're coming up on lap traffic. Dinosauro and Ryder, they're down in 18th and 19th. We'll see if they're fighting their own battle, so it's hard. And Adrian's going to go around the outside. I think Dinosaur's letting him, but there's Maloof right there. So, this is going to be close. This is going to be really close. Is he going to think about it into turn one? Honestly, I would at this point, given, sort of the issues that Maloof's had at the top of the hill here, exiting the S's. I would have maybe thought about trying to throw that in, but it's a one-line corner after all. It's hard to make a move there, so we'll see what he's able to do. Again, he's a little slower on the exit. At least he's using all the track there. I like seeing him swing out wide, but 0.6 now. So still a tough spot to be in, but they've cleared their lap traffic, so that's beneficial for them. They can kind of get onto it. I think they've got clear track up until Stevens, number 53, heading into turn 7 at the moment. So they've got a little bit of time before they catch up to him. And we're sort of just in a holding pattern, I think, now. Dinosauro and Ryder are having a nice close fight there, just in the background of these shots. 0.2 now. Maloof's trying to make it back. We saw Adrian make a mistake out of this corner before. Let's see if he can force him into another. And he keeps it, but Maloof's closing in that second half. It's funny, I was saying earlier, the first half of the lap is my favorite, and I hate the second half of the lap, but, I think if anything with Maloof, we've seen that he does really well in that second half of the lap, and maybe loses a bit of time in that first complex of corners from about turn 1 up to the bus stop. And now 0.3. Let's see if he can make any impression here. He won't, but he'll have the opportunity to draft up to the bus stop here. he's got to figure out these sweeping corners, though. He'd do well to sort of pay attention to what Adrian's doing through here and what kind of line he's taking, because I think the difference you could see from the exit is pretty vast. And like again, 3/10. Let's see what it is at the line. So he doubled it. Yeah, again at that first series of corners, he's just doubled the gap. So I think if Maloof were to figure out that first little bit of a lap, that could be the difference here. But until he does that, it's going to be really difficult to make an impression on first place. We are just, sort of in a holding pattern all over the track at the moment. Like I said in the intro, a little bit of a procession here sometimes. It is really difficult to get by, so I think we're seeing that sort of settle in. You have little scraps all over the circuit, but nothing really to write home about. And again, Maloof's chipped away at that 0.6, down to 0.4 in that second sector. So the middle and the end of the lap, he's right on it, and I'd be interested to look at the actual splits in the timing charts to see, if he is losing as much as it looks like every lap to Adrian just in that first sector. Because I would almost guarantee the splits on average would look like they favor Maloof in the second two sectors and are heavily in Adrian's favor in these first few corners. So yeah, now 5, so lost a touch of time, but nothing too much.
Well, looks like Adrian got the pass done.
He did, yeah. Did it on the back straight before the bus stop, so interesting to see the move get done even before the corner. I think I was just saying, speaking to myself here, that Maloof is losing a lot of time in that first sector, and he seems to be able to make a little bit of it back in the second and third sector, but it's not enough to offset his deficit in the first part of the lap.
See what else we got going on.
They are dropping Saba at a rate of knots, though. Saba now 6.3
Wow.
down. So Correa up to 9th now, still behind Turkey.
Just stuck behind him.
Yeah, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but I've been saying the whole race, it's hard to overtake here.
Right?
You can really easily find yourself just kind of stuck in a pocket.
It looks like everyone's pretty spread out at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to be mad if I wasn't able to cycle, but peek behind the scenes. Dave's in control of all of our screenings, so
right.
I wasn't able to change the view, but there wasn't really anything happening anyway, so
oh, that's good.
you got away with it. It's just sort of been a procession, little ring around the rosy for probably the better part of the last 10 minutes, if not more.
Right.
Correa on the grass trying to get that extra
Get something done.
inch of space to get by Turkey. We know Turkey doesn't need many inches to get by.
He's looking for his spot.
Yeah. He's going to have to just throw it into turn 1.
All right.
Just go a little late on the anchors. I used to bring this up to all of because I used to run the drive.
Looks like he's got to run.
Oh, he will get it. And Turkey's way too wide. So a little mistake. Again, it's
a wide Turkey.
Yeah.
Let's see how quickly he pulls away now.
Oh, he's going to be gone. And actually, I'd say now for Anthony up the road, this is bad news. Anthony only, 2.3 seconds.
All right.
With Kevin's pace, he's going to be on Anthony, I'd say within the next 2 to 3 minutes. Because I would average their difference in pace at probably around 0.8 a lap. So.
I don't know, less than 10 minutes in this race.
See,
Like
we get a good view here because we're first sector, so they were 773 at the line. Let's see if again Maloof is even slow, like even further back after just the first sector. So 773, 1.2. Yeah, it's every lap. If he could figure out those first corners, he would be right there with Adrian. But it's the first 4 corners are just a nightmare for him. I was saying while you were gone, I'd be interested to see the sector times.
Right.
I'd be willing to bet that Maloof's second and third sectors, on average, are better than Adrian's, and it's the first sector and the difference there that's making the difference every lap.
Let's see, does it give us sector time? No.
No.
I
think in the post-race for each driver they can see it.
Right.
But I don't think we're able to see it from our spectator. Interestingly, Sabo with the fast lap, though. So these fast guys at the front are just doing it on their consistency.
Right.
Unless, of course, maybe Sabo was way quicker at the beginning and he's just been having some mistakes in the second half, but that's not like him.
No.
Let's see. Yeah. 2 tenths already made up by Correa, but not making the impression that I thought he would. And I was saying too when you were gone, Alarkillen being in 6th as a rookie class driver, ahead of even the silver class driver,
Right.
first place in his class. I think he probably needs to be promoted.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think keeping him in the rookie class is where this guy belongs. He's in P6. The only guys in front of him are in the highest class.
Right. Well, Frankie's got to run.
Canadian on Canadian violence here. Perot, part of the French-Canadian contingent. Turkey, located in Ontario.
And where's Correa located?
He's out in Calgary, so he's out west. Very, very far away. Be like the difference between where you're at and like North Dakota.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, it's further west. Like I think North Dakota is 2 or 3 hours south of where
he's at.
Calgary, if I remember. Yeah. So he's out in the mountain time.
All right. 5.5 minutes left.
Yeah, and I think we're probably going to see this finish as is. Lamb Things is off again. He's had another hit. The car's looking
Poor
in
guy.
vastly better condition than it has been at other points in the race, but King Things has returned to give us one more pirouette.
Diving into the pits again.
I hate that pit lane, man.
It's in the worst spot. Is it?
It's so bad.
Because it's right on the racing line.
Yeah, and because they put the pit line, the entry line starting before the corner, you can't take any more speed. It's so weird. Like, why they can't have the actual pit lane entry before, like...
Right.
I don't understand. Honestly, like, think about it this way. If it just, at the left-hander at turn 10, if it just kept going straight there, If there was an entry there and then you did
Right.
the left-hander and the
And
right-hander
into
to
the pit, yeah.
Right.
Instead of
that would
having
be,
it on the track.
Yeah, like that'd be substantially better. Like, yes, you would lose more. It'd be a longer pit lane. You'd lose more time, but you'd be way safer.
I guess that's just all part of the charm, right?
Like I said, it's an old track. 1956 was when its first iteration was opened. It's seen a storied history. 20 years hosting Formula One.
Oh,
It's for an American Grand Prix track.
that's pretty good.
That's a hefty chunk. Oh, as Correa. So I was wondering what was going on with Correa, why he wasn't making an impression. Now less than a second behind White.
Right.
So
Well,
that was what I was expecting to happen 4 minutes ago.
Well, if he's going to make a move, he's better do it soon.
He doesn't have a lot of time.
What, we got about 3 laps left, if that?
And that's, honestly, there's 2 positions right there with Alarcon and White. Hatcher just ahead of them is a lap marker. And White is going to be a little more hesitant with the lap marker. Could Correa get the jump here? Oh, if he gets stuck, oh my goodness.
No.
That's gonna be frustrating. There's some valuable tenths lost in that. I think maybe a little mirror driving there.
Right.
Now half a second for Correa. Let's see what he's able
Wide
to
exit.
do.
Wow.
He's carrying a lot of speed. I mean, the race probably hasn't gone the way he hoped it would, starting from 5th down in 8th. So he's probably just hoping that he's able to salvage at least a position or 2. But, you know, we can't have a repeat of what happened with Turkey because you only have 2 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably have 2 more laps, I think, right?
I think you're right.
Leader should make it around twice more.
Sounds about
What
right.
are lap times like here?
I think of 46. Minute 46,
Okay.
something like minute 44.
Yeah, and they're just on their, yeah. So it should be this lap and then probably 1 more.
Mm-hmm.
Correa's going to have to get creative here. It's one thing about his driving style, having raced him as much as I have, he's very polite. He's very
Almost to a
quick, but
fault.
yeah, he doesn't have that killer instinct. And, you know, sometimes you kind of think like, oh, with the pace that he has, if he was just a touch more on the aggressive side, he would be very hard to stop.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, careful what you wish for, because we've seen that happen to people before where they become, oh, and he's going to try it.
No.
They become, oh, see, like
Peeking out.
That's
Yeah.
where you gotta
Playing a little
just
peekaboo.
kinda go for it. You're not gonna have another chance. That's we've seen a few drivers in the history of the league who,
All right, man. The leader is
maybe
on the
when
final
they
lap.
start
Give it a final
with us,
push.
they're not that fast, and they become a lot quicker over the course of their time racing with the league, but their aggressiveness rises at a commensurate rate, and they end up being just a hazard because now, yeah, they're super quick, but they're also hyper aggressive, and they think everybody
Right.
should move out of the way for them. So you don't want that mentality, but you also do need to have a little bit of like, okay, I got 1 lap left, I'm gonna send it. Like, will this be? No, they'll have 1 more.
Yeah. The leader just is on the final lap right now, so they're going to be starting their final lap.
And let's see what the gap lap is like. It's down a tenth, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to get it done.
Where's the leader at?
Coming down to turn.
Oh, there's, yeah. He's going to be crossing the finish line shortly.
Yeah, 2.3. So he dropped Maloof quite a bit there in that last little stage of the race. Oh, it looks like Correa got to within a tenth again, and
yeah, I'm sorry for the leader. I have to switch back to this, you know. And we usually like to see the leader cross the finish line, but
you can right now. He's just crossed.
Congratulations, Adrian.
Will take the race. Maloof in second, Saddle across in third here, and Correa has pissed away his chance at a seventh or even a sixth.
He can still get it done.
He's dropping back now. He's down from
he's got to be
4/10,
and he's got to get a good run out of here and get super aggressive.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get his hands dirty, and I just don't see how he will here.
No, that's too big of a gap.
Yeah, that's it for Correa. Again, just a little bit more spice. He would have been able to make it, but
another top 10 for Turkey.
Yeah, P9 for Turkey. That's a good result. That's 3 Canadians in the top 10 that I know of. I don't think any of the others live up here. Just have Watson and King things.
Yeah. Okay, he must finish the race.
These two trying a little formation flying here.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Okay.
Oh, last second drama there.
Yeah.
You want to run us through our finishing order?
I think so. All right. And our winner tonight is Adrian, followed by Maloof, Saba, fourth place Phillips, Rodriguez, Alarcon, White, Correa, Turkey, Perot, Peppers, Khan, Roman, Watson, Correas, Walker, Shane Stevens, Ryder, followed by Dinosauro, our new driver WWB, Medell, Carabello, Vergara, Booyah, Hatcher, Zuniga, Lamb King, and Reynolds rounding off the field.
Disappointing to see a top-rated driver in 26th. I know we've talked about Joe's race a few times with the incidents that he's had, but that's a tough night.
Yeah.
3 laps down, 26th place.
And that was early on.
Yeah.
He had that incident.
I think definitely one that he's going to want to have a short memory about. Some nights it all goes wrong. You know, he had that big hit at the beginning, and then the stop-go penalty to add insult to injury. It was, just a tough time for him.
Yeah. But shout out to Adrian, our gold winner, Alarcon, on our AM winner, and Anthony, our silver winners.
Great effort from them. And a special shout out to Maloof on the strategy to get the
P2.
Not just 2 passes done with the strategy. It didn't work out for the win in the end, but definitely, like you said, you called it really well just before it happened. You know, head on a swivel and made a call that got him a couple places, and he still I mean, he got Saba for second place, so
Right?
kudos to him for a good pit call.
Good strategy call.
Yeah, really, really good. And to Turkey for what was probably about a 30-minute defense of Correa.
Yeah, he held him up for quite a long time.
I don't like giving Turkey many shout-outs, but I'll give him a shout-out for that. So
He's
little
been
shout-out for our P2 in gold and rookie.
Yep. All right. Well, that's gonna be it for us tonight. I'm Dave.
I'm Sid.
Have a good night, everyone.
Cheers, everyone.